Right everyone, it is Finn here and welcome back to some more Nations League prediction videos where today we're going to be predicting the two semi-finals being Croatia versus Netherlands and Spain versus Italy, along with the final of the 2023 Nations League.
A lot of times I use the word horny.
Now of course I do understand that it's not the most appreciated international cup up there. I mean, it's essentially like Pep Guardiola's hair. People tend to forget about it unless someone else brings it up, that it ever existed. But of course we've got some fantastic games to talk about, and of course if you guys do enjoy the international football content, don't forget to subscribe down below along with leaving a like. I would appreciate it. But of course, jumping into game number one, it is Netherlands versus Croatia. Now of course Croatia, the only team out of these four semi-finalists to have never won a trophy before, but of course saying that, we cannot underestimate them. And I'm not just saying that because I work for Isaac and I'm scared of getting fired.
You're fired.
But I do think looking at Croatia, they got third place in the recent World Cup. Before that, they got to the final of the World Cup. In the last 10 years, Croatia has been a better international team than Netherlands. I do think one major worry for them though is Gvardiol is out with injury, and without your best defensive player, it could be a serious worry for Croatia. Especially knowing Netherlands, the history of their brilliant attack, it is really going to be a battle for the ages. I think one thing that definitely does work in Croatia's favour though is the fact that Memphis Depay has pulled out with injury from Netherlands. So of course, not having your best defender but your opponent not having their best attacker, it kind of levels things out a bit. But of course saying that, it's going to be an incredible matchup. Looking at Croatia, in order to get to this stage of the competition, they had to top a group with Denmark, France and Austria, which is massively impressive to think about. I mean, the fact that you ended up topping a group with Denmark, one of the best underdogs of the last 5 years. Obviously France to get to the final of both of the recent World Cups, and as we know Austria, some brilliant players as well. I don't think we can underestimate Croatia. I think especially in a game versus Netherlands, if they end up fighting the 120 minutes and they somehow get to a penalty shootout, I think that's where they could really shine, and that's their best opportunity of getting to a final in my opinion. But of course, saying that, as we know, the Netherlands have some absolute top stars, although they don't have Memphis Depay. They've got the GOAT, Wout Weghorst.
Are you serious?
But obviously, jokes aside, if it wasn't for that Argentina game, I think Netherlands actually had potential to win their competition. They were brilliant heading into the World Cup. I think they were 19 games unbeaten heading into the competition, and people tend to forget how good they were heading into it. Obviously saying that, as I said, without Memphis Depay up front, I do think it will be a bit of a struggle, but defensively, I think Netherlands are going to be strong here. Obviously, we could see the debut of Sven Botman, which just to think they've got centre-back options, for example, of De Vries, Sven Botman, you've got De Ligt, you've got Virgil van Dijk, Nathan Akker.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
The defense of this Netherlands national team is going to be super solid, and versus a Croatian national team that I wouldn't say has an outright goal scorer up front, it could be a serious mission, and that is why I'm going to go for Netherlands with a 1-0 win. I'm so sorry Croatia, if you manage to get to a penalty shootout, I do think you'll take it, but in the meantime, I do think Netherlands will take it 1-0. Now, jumping into the semi-final, it is Spain versus Italy, and as we know, I think Spain got to the final of the recent Nations League, and they really did shine there. But once again, time in and time out, I just think Spain have the potential to bottle it, especially when it comes to big games. Obviously, they've got a brand new manager after Enrique ended up leaving after the World Cup, and it is a man who's known the system quite well. Of course, he pretty much managed every single youth division when it comes to the Spain national team, so he does have an understanding of Spain. But I still do not understand, as a Manchester United fan, if I haven't pointed it out enough, why David De Gea doesn't deserve a spot for the Spanish national team. I get that he is prone to a mistake here and there, but a Golden Glove winner in the best league in the world to not be called up to the Spanish national team over Kepa Arrizabalaga, who plays for a mid-table, in fact a below mid-table Premier League team. I just cannot understand that, at least as the third choice keeper. But of course, along with that, there are some other injuries and players who are missing from the Spanish national team. Obviously, Sergio Busquets has retired from international football, who was the player of the tournament in the recent Nations League. Of course, after that, you've got the likes of Pedri missing, you've got Pau Torres missing. There are a lot of players missing from the Spanish national team. And versus Italy, who won the 2020 Euros, it's going to be an incredibly difficult battle. Of course, Spain are only taking 3 centre-backs backs, I believe, to this Nations League, which I still don't understand why they don't call up Ramos just for one last battle. The man scored in his final game for PSG, and I'm sure he's that kind of man to win that kind of crucial point for Spain. He is the kind of player who could win it, who could win the Nations League for Spain. I just think the Spanish national team have been way too weird with the kind of players that they haven't selected over the last few years. It is a good national team, don't get me wrong. I think defensively, bringing in someone like Emerick Laporte has been absolutely massive. I think Unai Simon being chosen over De Gea to an extent has worked. He has definitely been a solid option. But once again, the Spanish national team, it's just nowhere near as strong as it was 13 years ago in 2010 World Cup. Obviously, looking at Italy, as I said, not qualifying for the recent World Cup, but winning the recent Euros, it kind of told us a tiny bit of a seesaw in terms of, are they good, are they bad, what do we expect from them?
Dilly din, dilly don.
But obviously winning a group with Hungary, England and Germany, I do think I almost have to back them here. I think they're an incredibly strong team. Of course, although they don't have Chiellini as a centre-back, they've still got Bonucci, they've got Bastoni. They are super, super solid in terms of attack. They don't have Insigne anymore, who in my opinion was their best attacking threat. And without him, they might really struggle. But having attacking options of Immobile, Nonte and Chiesa and one or two other players, I still think that they have that attacking threat here. But this will be an incredibly close game. And in fact, I think this is going to end up being a draw. I do think this has potential to be a 1-1 draw, and if it does go to penalties, I don't know whether I can back Spain or Italy here. Of course, in the last 2 years, Spain have gone out of tournaments because of penalties, and Italy have won tournaments because of penalties. So at the end of the day, I do think I might have to go for Italy, although I personally prefer Spain, and I do think the final will be Italy versus Netherlands. And of course, I mean, before we jump into that, we might as well talk about third place being Croatia versus Spain. As I said, I do like this Croatian national team, and we have seen Spain bottle in the past. So you know what, just for the sake of things, I do think Croatia will get third place. And yeah, I think it will be via penalty shootout. Obviously, as I said, the final being Netherlands versus Italy, what a game this has potential to be. And although, yes, maybe Italy didn't qualify for the World Cup, they will be a seriously tough opponent for Netherlands. And although Netherlands are missing a lot of players due to injury, I think I have to go for them. I think Netherlands are going to win the 2023 Nations League. As I said, yes, they went out to Argentina at the recent World Cup, but they really gave a fight for their lives, and they were absolutely phenomenal in that game. I mean, yes, maybe my favorite moment of that game was definitely a WWE move, but I do think at the end of the day, this Netherlands national team has so much depth within inside of them and so much attacking quality. I mean, as I said in the attacking front, no, they don't have Memphis Depay, but you still have Wout Weghorst, although he's a bit of a meme. You've got the likes of Cody Gakpo, who really shined for moments at Liverpool this season. Once again, we're not going to talk about it. You've got Steven Berghuis, you've got so many, or Bergwijn should I say, and so many other brilliant players, and I do think Netherlands have the ability to take it. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my Nations League 2023 predictions. As I said, let me know in the comment section down below if you disagree with anything I said, and what predictions you would have gone for. As I said, obviously with Euro qualifiers, AFCON qualifiers, and a bunch of other major international tournaments, I will be releasing a lot of predictions this international break, so of course, if you are interested, do subscribe. This has been Finn, FYNN. Until next time, cheers.